It's definitely been a while since my last video, but with the engine all done now, we will be getting it into the car and also attempting to crank it. You'll have to watch that to see how it goes. I think this will be my most exciting video yet.
At the starting of the week, at Summit Talks, you'll hear them speak. It's only Monday. Negotiations breaking down. See those leaders start to frown. It's sword and gun day.
Once we get the engine here onto the hoist, there's a couple last things that we have to do, which would be installing the flywheel and clutch.
Good. Now get the bolts.
Now time to get this engine to the car, and a big thank you to Trike for helping with the van. One problem we found pretty quickly was the oil pan. The one we had installed didn't have a hole for a sensor we needed to connect. Luckily we had the correct oil pan on the engine that was originally in the car, so we cleaned that one up and installed it. Something I had done the day before was fully cleaning this engine bay. So this is the before and here's the after. I also installed a new throwout bearing on the transmission. Now we could get the engine connected to the transmission. Yeah. And then we quickly put on the bolts that secured the engine to the transmission and also got the motor mounts connected. So this is where we got at the end of the first day. Following days consisted of us installing everything the car needed to be started for the first time.
This looks like
I didn't install this resonator for now. I think it's just there to quiet down the turbo a little bit. And then I also installed this cheap diverter valve that the previous owner had bought. And here we got some new parts, some emission stuff, and exhaust gaskets as well. this point we could finally get the radiator support on. We also finally got a battery. At this point we had the intake system fully in place. You can also see the side intercooler there. We made sure to fill the engine with oil, we put in power steering fluid, and we used water in the cooling system for now. We did have water leaking from the thermostat housing, but later we fixed this. After we saw that the fuel pump was pumping fuel, we got ready to start the car.
Okay.
Whenever.
Keep going. Oil.
It's sounding okay. Should I leave it now?
A little bit, then turn it off.
So basically when we first started this car, something weird happened where the clutch didn't go down all the way, and then after forcing it, it broke the slave. So I had to replace the slave cylinder. We also replaced the master cylinder. I think I now know what caused that issue, and I'll probably explain that later. Also, replacing the master in these cars is very annoying. It would have been super hard to record doing that. All that was left to drive the car was putting on the bumper and the headlights. Now maybe you can't tell from these clips, but the shifts all sound somewhat the same. They all basically sound like I'm getting on the gas before releasing the clutch, but in reality I wasn't. So when this clutch I had gotten from Rock Auto started to slip, I then decided to go with a Luck OEM clutch and we replaced it. And I'm happy we did that because it made the car a lot easier and better to drive. At this point, the engine was running great and the car was fun to drive, even with being basically stock. I then decided I wanted to fix the paint on the hood and the rims. Although I originally wanted to go for more power on the car, as it got closer for me to go back to school, I was considering selling it while it was still stock. Obviously this wasn't the best choice content-wise, but I think it was the right choice in my situation. So that's going to be the end of the V6 content. Now that I have a break from school, I should have a couple other videos coming out soon. My brother and I recently bought a new project, so that should be revealed pretty soon, hopefully. So what happened with the V6 is we sold it, and so the new owner drove it from California to Pennsylvania, which is pretty crazy. Sadly, he did have some issues about halfway through. He was in Colorado, and basically this happened. I'm not sure exactly what could have caused this. I have a clip of us tightening the bolt, I believe to 25 Newton meters, or maybe it was 15. I also remember we didn't use any blue thread locker on it, but there was an issue somewhere here, and I don't exactly know what it was. I'm glad that the buyer was able to figure out a way to get it fixed, and he was able to continue the journey back home. But definitely a lesson learned, especially with the timing system, to really make sure everything's done correctly, everything's torqued perfectly. Anyways, I think the next video will be either on my daily driver, which I already recorded most of the clips on, or it'll be the new project car that we got.